and you won't stop, and you don't stop, and you won't. I was a terror since the public school era. Bathroom passes, cutting classes, squeezing asses. Smoking blunts was a daily routine since 13. A chubby nigga on the scene. I used to have the tray deuce and the deuce in my bubble goose. Now I got the Mac in my knapsack, lounging black, smoking sacks up in accent sidekicks with my sidekicks, rocking fly kicks. Honeys wanna chat, but all we wanna know is where the party at. And can I bring my gat? If not, I hope I don't get shot. Better throw my vest on my chest, cause niggas is a mess. It don't take nothing but front for me to start something. Bugging and bucking at niggas like I was duck hunting. Coming out just me and my crew, cause all we wanna do is party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party. 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 Hugs from the honeys, pounds from the roughnecks. See my man say that I knew from the projects. Said he had beef, asked me if I had my piece. Short dude, 222s in my shoes. Holla if you need me, love, I'm in the house. Roman strong, see what the honeys is about. Moet poppin', hope poppin', ain't no stoppin'. Big Papa, I'm a bad boy. Niggas wanna front, who got your back? Niggas wanna flex, who got the cat? It ain't hard to tell I'm the East Coast overdoser. Nigga, you're scared just a poster. Nigga, I toast you. In the tight dress, I think I might just hit her with a little Biggie 101. How to tote a gun and have fun with Jamaican rum conversation. Plus in rotation, my man Big Jock got the Glock in his waist and we're smoking, drinking, got the hooker thinking. If money smell bad, then this nigga biggin', thinking. Is it my charm? I got the hookers eating out my palm. She grabbed my arm and said, let's leave calm. I'm hitting skins again. Rolled up another blunt, bought a Heineken. Niggas start to low down like kids out, choked out, blows were stoned, and a fucking fight broke out.
Ooh, I'm feeling it today, guys. I'm feeling it today. Oh man, I am feeling it today. I tell you what. I'm into it. I'm so into it. I got the fly glasses on. I'm not gonna keep these on. It's gonna drive me crazy. Yeah. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Roundup. My once a month show, the only show I do solo. Where we look at some of the crazier things that otherwise I would have made a video on. There's stuff in my garage. I mean my studio. And I actually had like a bunch of different things that I wanted to make videos on, but most of them were really, really heavy topics. And I don't know if everybody's aware of this, but I've been dealing with a horrible ear infection for the past week and a half, almost 2 weeks now. And it's finally starting to get a little bit better. And I could hear without blistering pain. But still, I'm going to take it a little bit easy, and I'm going to do something a little bit more fun. So if you haven't noticed by the thumbnail of this stream, we're going to be talking about a man named Morg, and his cult, also known as Hyperianism. A couple of things before we get started. Today, I wanted to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Got a chance to call my dad earlier today. I'll talk to him a little bit later as well. He's doing well. I'm doing well. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day as well. Let's have a good show for all the dads out there. Let's see what else is going on. VidCon. I leave for VidCon in about 3 days. So you'll probably see a few random ass things popping up on the channel. Streams are just fun, silly things that we're doing while we're down there. I did get full confirmation that Hemlock Moonwolf himself will be attending VidCon. it was very difficult to correspond with him. I had to communicate only through smoke signals, but his agent did get back to me. So that will be interesting. Yeah, and tonight, 7:30 Pacific Standard Time, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, of course, as always, every week, the YouTube Saints, the weekly late night show that me and Wizard of Cause do. Link in the description. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. We're going to be talking to the Mythicist Milwaukee guys, because they were kind enough to invite us on their show this week, so they're going to do our show this weekend. And they're just fun people to hang out with. They really legitimately are. I also want to say a big thank you to all the new support that I've been getting recently. Tons of new subscribers, new people. Hello. You probably found me through the Dr. Phil show. I probably look a little bit different. I promise I'm just as much of a nice guy. I'm just kind of a freak, which is kind of interesting because maybe it takes a freak to tackle a freak. Maybe it does. If you guys aren't familiar with Morg, he's a beautiful lolcow. Beautiful lolcow. He's an incredible, not in a good way, but an incredible human being. Previously, The Amazing Atheist and Godless Engineer have made videos on them. And I have not watched those. I specifically knew when I saw them pop up, because I'd seen Morg videos before, that I eventually one day was going to be tackling them as well. So I never watched their videos, but you should, because they're probably great. Because I didn't want to be too influenced. What's up with the Sea Captain's hat? I always wear the Sea Captain's hat on Wingnut Roundup, because I'm the Sea Captain, steering us through the oceans of bullshit. I am making attempts, by the way, to swear less, but I am a foul-mouthed person, and that is a turnoff for some people, and I do apologize, but it's a very hard habit to break, and I don't think I'm gonna have any luck with it anytime soon. So I'm sorry. Okay, so this is my plan. I got 4 of his videos pulled up. We've got his most noteworthy one, Why Science is the New Irrational Religion, then What is Hyperianism? Both of these, I don't know if we're... I know some people find his appearance very funny. I'm reading the chat. Full disclosure, Morg looks like a guy that I probably would have hung out with about 10 years ago. I used to hang out with circus freaks quite a bit. I even learned some circus performance arts and things like that, fire dancing and body modification, things like that when I was much younger. So, but knowing this guy and knowing what he's about, I've met people like him. They just never put their crazy wingnut ideas on the internet. But anyway, so these first 2 videos, they're I don't know if we'll go through the whole thing, but to get a good idea of who he is, at some point we're going to take a look at his website, because it's pretty great. But then there's 2 new ones that he put out recently, and they are... So let's get started. Let's learn a little bit about Morg in Why Science is the New Irrational Religion. Strap in. Ooh. Just realized I have my audio turned way down. There we go. Gotta be able to hear it.
People generally think that science is all about truth, but as we'll show in this video, it is nowhere near the truth, and its explanations about your existence and your purpose are just as absurd as mainstream religion.
Shut the front door.
Go ahead, man.
Every era thinks that they have it all figured out, and the ideas of the past were crazy. Those born in the early ages of humanity thought that their primitive stories about creation were true, and those born in the Christian era thought that their religious ideas were true.
What's the Christian era supposed to be? Do you mean like when Christianity was founded? Because that was after Jesus died. Are we talking about now? This could be the Christian era. I mean, I believe there's more Christians alive now than there ever have been on the planet, so I don't know. Nitpicking.
And most born today think that scientific materialism is true. But in actuality, the people of the future will look back on scientific materialism as a primitive and childish view of reality.
Ooh, he's throwing shade already. Maybe. I mean, it is entirely possible that maybe sometime 1,000 years from now we'll look back having more understanding of the world, that what we perceive as science and our observable reality was vastly incomplete. But how we get to that is going to be through the scientific method. That's just how that's how it's gonna work.
Don't get trapped by the consciousness of the era that you were born into. In 100 years, science will look nothing like it does today. So if you are really looking for truth, then have an open mind and weigh everything we are about to say with logic and reason.
That I can promise you I absolutely will do. I will listen to everything you're about to say with logic and reason. I promise.
You see, people assume that scientific materialism is rational. However, that is blatantly incorrect.
How so?
Our system, Hyperianism, is mathematical, rationalist, and deductive. While science is about sense data, empiricism, and induction.
And mathematics and rationalism and deductive as well. That's part of science as well. It's gonna be a little weird to try and explain what Hyperianism, but let's watch a little bit more of this, and then we'll look at his website to try and get a real good grasp on what this dude actually believes, because this stuff is really interesting to me. It's really interesting to me how completely diluted this guy has gotten.
Science is an empirical system, which is opposed to rationalism. This can't be stressed enough. Science is not about reason. Science is about empiricism.
How?
The
How is empiricism not using reasoning? You have to have a very healthy amount of reasoning to be able to determine and interpret empirical data. Like this is just part of it.
Definition of empiricism is the doctrine that all knowledge is derived from sense experience.
What? Hang on, say that again.
Science is about empiricism. The definition of empiricism is the doctrine that all knowledge is derived from sense experience.
Hang on. Let's fact check that. Empiricism. I've totally forgot to even look at that. He's technically right. The theory that all knowledge is derived from sense experience, stimulated by the rise of experimental science developed in the 17th and 18th centuries. Okay, that's fine. Hey, chalk one up for you, Morg. There's one.
Whereas rationalism is the doctrine that all knowledge is based on reason and not on religious faith or sense experience. These two views are opposite, and never forget that science is an empirical system, not a rational system.
The very nature of living in the material universe itself means you're going to be subjected to sense data. Every single thing that we interpret or hear or see or feel is sense data. Our brains are massive calculation machines that are taking in massive amounts of sense data and making sense of it. To say that sense data in and of itself is an illogical bullshit thing, and that you could somehow know something beyond sense data is bizarre to me. Absolutely bizarre. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Furthermore, science is inductive, whereas our system is deductive.
What is happening in my circle? Hello?
Deduction is a method of reasoning.
Why is it doing that? That's great.
Deductive. Deduction is a method of reasoning that guarantees 100% that the conclusion is true no matter what.
What the hell is happening to my circle? This is great. This is like the epilepsy version of the video. Hang on, let me see if I can fix this. We're at 2:30. Here, let's.
In this video, we
people
generally
okay. 2:30. Did that fix it?
Conclusion is true no matter what.
Okay.
While induction is a method based on repeated tests that only ever gives a probability of something being true. No matter.
That's fine, but there's problems with using only deductive reasoning to interpret your entire world. If you use only deductive reasoning, you can come to massively incorrect assumptions. Inductive reasoning is just the application of logical thought on top of sense data, on top of empiricism, on top of the various different things that you've gathered as evidence. It's part of the scientific method in and of itself, but like this is so. Oh, even my circle can't handle this guy's crap. I know, man. I know, it's wild.
How good the inductive test is, it always has the probability of being wrong. Deduction is about guaranteed truth, while induction only gives a probability of being true.
I want to hear him say a hardcore truth, an absolute factual determination about the universe. Maybe he does in some of these videos, but I've watched quite a few of them, and I've yet to see him demonstrate Hyperianism at work that doesn't break his methodology, his own model of how things are supposed to work. I've never seen him do it. It would be interesting, but I have a feeling that he doesn't do it.
For example, classical mechanics was once considered to be absolutely true, and you were considered...
It still is.
...considered crazy by the scientific establishment if you thought otherwise.
Yeah, and you still would. Classical mechanics are still being used today. Like right now. Like we use classical mechanics right now. Basic Newtonian physics are still the basis for what we use because we've yet to find a way to break them, aside from the addition of when we started delving into the subatomic particles or the larger quantum physics of the universe. It doesn't necessarily break classical mechanics. Classical mechanics still work. It's that we have to now find new hypotheses and new theories in which to explain the things that classical mechanics is not designed for. That's the whole point. To say that, like, let's hear what he says about this.
However, today it is known that classical mechanics is completely and utterly false.
By who? By you? But not by scientists. What do you... Oh my god. Oh my god. Is it a little hard to hear Jeff, but loud enough to hear the crazy hippie guy? Okay, let me see if I can turn up my gain a little bit here. Test. Maybe that's a little bit better. Maybe a little bit more. Ooh, let's tease it. I gotta tease it. There we go. Alright, let me know if this is a little bit better. I just want to make sure I'm not spiking or anything really gnarly. And if I laugh, I'll try and like pull it away this way so I don't blow your eardrums.
It's been replaced by quantum mechanics. Now, understand what we're saying.
Quantum mechanics did not replace classical mechanics. No. It's an addition on top of classical mechanics. What the Oh, here, hang on. I gotta hook somebody up right here. There we go. Did I just Tim Allen? Yeah, no, I'm gonna Tim Allen a lot on this.
Science has been great at coming up with advances in technology and medicine, and that's wonderful. But just because science comes up with material inventions does not mean that they know the truth about reality. That is a huge logical fallacy.
And he knows the truth about reality. Morg does. Morg here. Reality TV star Morg is the one who understands the real true nature of reality. I love it. Let's give this video just a little bit more and then let's take a look at his website because it's great.
And fallacies are everywhere. For example, if a person prayed to God for someone that was sick to get better, and they did get better, it does not mean that it was because of the prayer. And just because science can come up with smartphones and smart pads does not mean that they know anything about the underlying nature of reality.
Yes, it does. Yes, it fucking does. Yes, it absolutely does. What? 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 What are you even talking about? What? Okay, let me try and wrap my head around this. Oh, okay. So, because scientists made smartphones and tablets, they don't necessarily understand the basic fundamental underlyings of the universe. Yes, actually, they do. They understand quite a bit. They understand a lot. They have to understand the basics of electromagnetism, the basis of thermodynamics. They have to understand the basics of, well, even entropic theory because of the way in which batteries start to, like, wind down and shit. They have to understand a lot of the basis of reality. Of course they do. They have to understand wavelengths and radio transmitters. They have to understand the basis for photonic emissions. They have to understand all of these brilliant, intricate little things that we've developed over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, thousands of years, to get down to the very basic fundamentals. Yes, they absolutely do have to understand these things. Let me ask you a fucking question here, Morgan. This is the thing that I think really, really bugs me about this, is like Hyperianism is all about just shitting on something that is not necessarily Hyperianism. Something everybody else universally agrees upon is the actual consensus basis of reality. But you just shit all over it. Like, well, you know, sure, they made the phones, and maybe, like, the medical industry, they made a bunch of drugs, and we've lived longer today than we've ever lived in the history of mankind and forever. But they don't really know anything. They don't really do anything. What the fuck have you done? You stuck a fucking hook through your goddamn face. You swallow swords. You babble on goddamn YouTube, and you whore for fucking money. Don't get me wrong, I'm a whore too. I get it. It's fine. No shade. No shade. But when's the last time you made a spiritual Hyperianism cell phone? Eh? When are we getting that? What? Is there a Kickstarter? What is it? Powered by, I don't know, angst? I don't fucking get it. I don't understand. I tried to find some eyeliner to do makeup up like his, but I couldn't find any. Nems is not really a girly girl, so she doesn't really have makeup, so I don't know. All right, anyway, a little bit more.
In fact, classical mechanics is responsible for all of these advances, and even getting people to the moon. But it is a fact that classical mechanics is 100% wrong, and it has been completely refuted and replaced by quantum mechanics.
Again, no! You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't understand what classical mechanics are. You don't understand the evolution of scientific theory. You don't understand what quantum mechanics are. How are you going to detail out on a macroscopic level how fuel injection works by using quantum mechanics? You can't. You fucking can't. Well, you see, the various different Planck interactions and the weak force versus the strong force is really how we test for the ignition properties of a very aerated and dispersed fuel system. No! Jesus.
Even though classical mechanics is definitely incorrect, it can still create the technology to put a person on the moon. Material success.
When is Hyperianism going to put somebody on the moon?
Success does not equal truth. Scientists like to pretend that they're on the side of logic and reason, when the opposite is true. They put their faith in the senses and are just as dogmatic about it as a mainstream religious person. Mainstream religion argues their...
Okay. There's a huge difference between religion and science. A huge difference. Science is based upon a conceptual theory that's consolidated largely inside of a book of principles, doctrines. In some religions, it's many books, and these are translated, mistranslated, and passed down through the generations. It has a huge amount of interpretation going on to it. But religion in and of itself relies upon a degree of non-questioning. Like faith is something that requires you to not challenge. Religions don't encourage you to challenge them. You know, the religions require you to have faith in them. And this isn't meant to like throw shade on anybody who has faith or is religious. Like, it's fine. It's cool. I have lots of very religious friends, but it's different from science because science exists to be challenged. It exists for the very purpose of people to try and break it. That's the whole point. That's the entire point. Science is one of the most simple things in the universe. Question, observe, form hypothesis, test hypothesis, draw your conclusion, and if your conclusion is wrong, aka it's broken, then you form a new one and you test it again. And you keep doing it. The whole concept of it is to break it. It is built to be broken. And if you can't break it, then we can assume, for the time being at least, that it's probably pretty close to true. That's the whole point. If Hyperianism is to stand to the test of it, then there has to be something to test against it. There has to be a way in which we can test Hyperianism and see if we can break it. But you don't invite that. You just say, it's just real. Whatever the fuck Hyperianism is supposed to be. So let's take a little bit of a break from this video. Because stop being nice. Am I being nice? Am I being nice? I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of kid gloving a little bit on this guy. You can't pop your nut too early. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, fellas? You know, maybe you're a young man out there and you're trying to learn your way into the world and you're trying to woo yourself into a nice young lady's heart. Well, you can't just go full bore to the hilt right away, man. You gotta tease a little bit. You gotta romance it. You gotta woo yourself into it before you have that real, like, pop, you know? So, oh, there's a few people who really haven't gotten a chance to see me live, actually live. Hello. I hope you enjoy the show. This guy's gonna make me lose my shit, though. I'm telling you. All right, let's take a look at his website. This is Hyperianism.com. There's Morg looking very... Morg. The extinction of humanity is here. We are the coming race of mind. We are the cult of reason. Synthesize now. Oh, yeah. Okay. Top link is, of course, shop. We'll look at that in a second. So, learn more. Become Hyperion. Let's see how we become Hyperion. Oh, there's a video. The Extinction of Humanity, Hyperianism Part 1. We're not about meditation, prayer, chakra cleansing, crystals, mystical oneness, mindfulness, DNA upgrades, question mark. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Light working, aliens and UFOs, conspiracy theories. We are about ontological mathematics, rationalist philosophy, rationalist science, transforming the universe, the dialectical evolution of mind, the Hegelian absolute, psychology, sociology. Now, all of this is just claptrap garbage, babble words, pseudo-philosophical nonsense. The Hegelian absolute, though, that one's kind of interesting, and I'm trying to remember... Because there's been a couple other cult leaders who have mentioned that. Hegelian... what is it called? Hegelian what? I want to take a look at this. And also, I'll check the Stremlabs and Super Chats here in just a minute. Hegelian Absolute. Let's take a look at that. Absolute. After Hegel, Absolute Idealism. Okay. Apparently, it's just another word for absolute idealism. Ontologically monistic philosophy, chiefly associated with Hegel. Okay. Idealist philosophers of the 19th century. Okay. How being is ultimately comprehensible as an all-inclusive whole, an absolute. That in order for the thinking subject to be able to know its object, the world, at all, there must be some sense of identity of thought and being. Basically, a soul. At least I'm assuming that's what he's talking about. Otherwise, the subject would never have access to the object. We have no certainty about any of our knowledge of the world. So that there is an intuitive kind of knowledge that is being brought forth through the sense of oneness with either the world or a soul self or that sort of thing. Yeah. Okay. This it's distinguished from subjective idealism of Berkeley and the transcendental idealism of Kant. Okay, all right, that's fine. For people who are big into philosophy, hopefully that explains it for you. Let's see. Why are you alive? Why get out of bed in the morning? What's the point? Let's face it, the world is a disaster. As soon as you look at your phone or turn on the TV, there is nothing but news of some impending disaster, an imminent war, and people losing rights. What is the point of your life in all of this insanity? Have you ever thought about it? Why keep breathing? Most people never take a minute to consider it at all. Many people simply get stuck in a daily cycle. They repeat, okay, blah, blah, blah. Jesus Christ. Most people don't have any will of their own and live out terribly unsatisfying lives. Okay. You've been born into a slave system. This has all been put in place to keep you blind from the truth of reality. This kind of life does not fulfill you because it is a lie and an insult to existence. If it did fulfill you, you would not be here reading these words. You'd be masturbating in a closet over how woke you are, I suppose? I don't know. Hyperianism shadows this illusion and shows that your existence is inherently, intrinsically imbued with purpose. Hyperianism is all about understanding your existence, maximizing your power, and transforming the universe. Okay. Your existence is inherently and intrinsically imbued with purpose. That sounds like destiny. It sounds like divine providence. Sounds like religion to me. It just does. You can live a mundane average life. You can be a mundane average person. You can go to school, get a job, make money, get married, have kids, and party on the weekends until the day you die. But is that really living? Why not? Why not? Why is it your place to shit on somebody's ideal existence? Because you just simply know better than other people? Not everybody's lived experience is going to work for everybody else. I'm sorry, but no. There are some people out there who will have their 2.5 kids and their white picket fence, they'll pump gas for a fucking living, and they'll be happy. What is it any fucking business of yours? What the Okay. Not a belief system, a knowledge system. Hyperianism is the grand unified theory of everything that gives you the ability... Anytime somebody says the grand unified theory, they're probably talking a bunch of shit. Usually. That's a very culty thing. Gives you the ability to discover the ultimate truth of reality and to unlock your infinite potential. We'll never ask you to believe anything on faith, except Hyperianism. You should always be engaged in questioning and critical thinking. Hyperianism is 100% based on reason and logic. It's defined by mathematics. It is objectively true as 1 + 1 = 2. You don't have to believe that 1 + 1 = 2. You can know it with complete certainty. Okay. Do I really want to get into it yet? I'm not gonna bust my nut yet. I'm not gonna bust my nut yet. The 1 + 1 = 2, and that whole thing, it comes back here in a little bit. I gotta tease you guys a little bit. We gotta move into this just very carefully, very carefully. You exist in a mathematical reality. I don't know how much longer I can read this Hyperianism shit, but I'm trying. You exist within a grand mathematically generated illusion. We're in a hologram. And you yourself are a mathematical being. Mathematics doesn't just describe reality. You and your world are literally made of living mathematics. Oh, okay. It is the code, the essence of this experience that you are having right now. Once you understand this, you'll find the secrets of reality and begin to liberate yourself from the material realm. You'll be as one who walks out from a dark cave to behold the light for the first time. That's very Platonic there. Very Plato's. It's Plato who did the cave, right? I think it was Plato. I don't care. I really don't care. I'm not a philosophy student. Never have been. Saying that a person is living mathematics. Living mathematics is how? How did you come to this conclusion? Where is your evidence for it? Where is your testable hypothesis? Where is the basis for this? Is it just simply a stated thing? Because if you just state a thing and we're supposed to believe that thing, then we have to take it on faith. That's how that works. That's religion. Like, it's accurate that this guy actually calls it cult because it's a cult. It's a religion. It is a belief system. It is not a mathematical or deductive or logical system whatsoever. It is based upon, inherently, a faith system. Just saying, like, everything's math. Sort of. But not really. Actually, everything's kind of physics and kind of chemistry. Yeah. That's a lot closer. But there's a whole basis of mathematics inside of both chemistry and physics, and we'll get to that in a minute. In a fucking minute. Okay, before we move on to the videos, because the videos are more fun. Videos by Morg, hidden videos? What the fuck? Hidden videos? Oh, there is on his Patreon. You can check out his hidden videos on Patreon. Jeff, you asking for evidence. That's not how this works. I know. So this is the grand trap of Hyperianism, is if you ask for evidence, then you're not using rationalism because evidence is based on sense data. Dude, fuck off. Come on. Real quick, let me go over and check my Stremlabs. Beep. Sorry. I want to make sure I get your guys' messages before they're outdated. JT Viper, happy Father's Day, you mother effers. Thank you very much. Jables Boogly. This goes towards a death shot for John. Wait, wrong show. Carry on. Yeah, no death shots while I'm on antibiotics. I don't get to drink for a while. Ravenfire Gaming. I can't stay to watch today, but have fun with your circus cult leader. Thank you very much. I will. Brian Finlay. There's a chance this guy might do a response to you. He has made butthurt response videos before. Please do, Morg. Please do. That would be fantastic. Darker Elite, the Pine Ninja, classical mechanics is 100% wrong. That's why it succeeded at all these things. That's right. It is the most successful incorrect thing in existence, apparently. Jables Boogly, I partied too hard on Friday and hurt my jerkin hand. Send your thoughts, prayers, and hookers. Well, you know where to send your extra hookers, guys. Send them over to Jables. All right, I got one more thing. I was browsing his website earlier today. One more thing that's pretty worrying before we get back to the videos. So over here in his shop, he's got something called the Secret Library. Some of the items in our shop, including Book Zero, are available once a week on Thursday night, Friday morning at midnight Pacific Standard Time for 1 hour only. They're only for the willed. Will you be awake? So basically, these two books, Book Zero... Oh no, this book and this badge, I guess it's a patch, and this patch, you can only order an hour a week, apparently. Sounds kind of to me like a marketing scheme, but he's got this thing here. This is called the Metaphorical Suicide. And this is really, really fucking worrying to me. This is apparently a book, okay? We're gonna look at this real quick, and then we'll move back on to the videos, because they're more fun. Description. You must kill who you aren't to become who you are. Cultural brainwashing has shaped you into who you are today. You are not based on you at all, but on what outside influences have decided you should be. You are not who you are. Okay, calling it the metaphorical suicide and this idea of killing who you aren't is extremely fucking worrying to me. Extremely worrying to me. Not necessarily because this metaphor is inherently dangerous, but if you're attracting extremely gullible and emotionally compromised people, and you start babbling about fucking suicide, that's a problem. That's a really, really big problem, and it's worrying. And any type of suicide in relation to something that's a cult, and you yourself call it a cult, people should be paying attention, because that's really spooky. Not everyone has the same level of awareness. In actuality, the difference between an individual with low self-awareness and an individual with hyper-awareness is similar to the difference in consciousness between an instinctual animal and a self-aware human. Okay? That means you can effectively say somebody that you perceive to be not hyper-aware is below you and inferior to you. That, again, very worrying concept when it comes to a cult or some belief system. It's horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. I should get this guy in Dr. Phil. Ooh, that'd be good. That'd be a lot of fun, actually. I do know how to get a hold of their executive producer. The aim of this book is to notify the reader that different levels of consciousness exist and how one can begin to achieve these higher levels of consciousness. It's just a holy book. The paradigm shift is near. This book reads like a mental time bomb, sure to disrupt your mechanical ho-hum drone existence. Tick, 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 boom, are you ready? Ashley J. Yeah, weird reviews. Okay, yeah, no, I really... Jeff, your hat is all I can pay attention to. Navy girl? Oh, you're in the Navy? I like military women. I don't know. Oh, there's some people comparing it to Jeranism. Yeah, oof. That's a trippy one, too. getting spirit science vibes here. Dude, I recently, I mean, by now anybody who's watched me for a while knows that I'm really not a fan of, oh yeah, here. I was looking up absolute idealism. Here we go. Back to this. That I am not a fan of spirit science. And it sounds like spirit science last year, and maybe to a certain extent still this year, is having a hashtag #MeToo moment. It's worth looking up. It's actually pretty spooky. Just make it a reoccurring segment on Dr. Phil, Nut Jobs featuring Jeff Holiday. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be cool. That'd be pretty great. Gentlemen do not vape. I am not a gentleman. Thank you very much. Okay. Did I see Dr. Phil's rap battle? I did. I thought it was pretty good. It was pretty great. Oh yeah. My kiddo is hanging out outside. And fine. He's just playing in the sunshine. Cute little kid. All right. So next, let's take a look, probably really quickly, because I don't want to stick on these older videos too long. What is Hyperianism?
In this video, we will reveal the details of Hyperianism, the mathematical system that will replace science and religion. The system of the future is...
Just look at his fucking face. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This dude takes himself way too serious. Way too serious. We will replace all of science.
Is here. Your world in its current state is a hell. The rich elite that rule this planet.
Yeah, I'm gonna live in hell right now, man. I feel like I'm burning to death in this literal hell of kicking it in my garage, making fun of you. Yeah, it's terrible.
Through their hoarding of money and manipulations of the power systems, keep the masses in a constant state of slumber, confusion, infighting, and division. Their systems of capitalism and consumerism has turned humanity into brain-dead shoppers that are completely unaware of what they are, where they are, and why they are here.
So I hear this kind of thing a lot with people who are very new agey. There's a lot of condemnation, a lot of disparaging on like modern society. You know, there are all these government systems that keep people like cattle and sheep, and they move them this place and this place, etc., etc. When has it ever been better? Can you answer that for me? Like when exactly in the history of any have we existed in a time where masses of humanity are not being manipulated or controlled by either a ruling class, governments, larger idealistic structures, or even manipulative structures? When exactly has that been any better? Really? We exist in the best time in known history, right now. And yes, there are worrying things that happen. Absolutely. Of course there are. Of course. We get evidence of corruption all the time, of manipulation, of weaponizing psychology to drive people to doing awful things. Sure. But when has it ever been better? When? What is your basis for comparison? Just because you, yourself actually fucking know differently? That's why? I hope you can prove it.
Vile religions dominate the globe, spreading sexism, homophobia, and violence. They are a mental plague far worse than any physical disease. They have been the #1 cause of death and destruction on your planet.
No. I would say they're a very big contender. But I'd say they're pretty much on par with, I'd say disease has probably killed way more people. Honestly. Really, honestly. Especially if you consider the massive near extinction of people in the North American continent due to the accidental introduction of the fucking flu virus, the smallpox, which killed something, it's estimated like 95 million fucking people. That's a lot of fucking people. Just saying. I mean, like, you have to have some perspective about this. But you know how we know about diseases? How we beat them? It wasn't Hyperianism.
These restrictive thought systems have caused immense sexual repression, which has damaged your people's understanding of unity.
Sure, get naked.
Hyperianism will create a new world, free from hateful religions. We will build a new culture that maximizes the freedom of the individual and the whole. A culture based on logic, reason, mathematics, compassion, and art.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Can you do it without shitting all over science?
Everyone must be given the freedom and equal opportunity to become the best versions of themselves through learning, exploration, and creativity.
I tell you what, when I'm sitting back and I'm trying to think of like a better way to live, better way for my culture to adapt and change, to really become a more free society, I think I just wish I could find a guy who looks like this to lead us into the next level.
This means by understanding the mathematical nature of reality, as well as learning through creating art, having connections with others, and experiencing love and sex in a consensual manner. The prefix hyper.
Is this a sex cult? Is this really this whole thing is just to try and get a bunch of like goth sluts? Like, I mean, because if it is, I'll go to your parties, but I'm still not going to drink the Kool-Aid. I'm just saying.
Means higher or beyond. In ancient Greek, it meant over or above. Hyperions are those that seek to go higher, to transcend human limitations, and to overcome all obstacles.
I suggest smoking a lot of DMT then, bro. You'll get there.
Hyperianism is all about creating yourself into the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. To self-actualize.
I tell you what, the makeup is not elevating you to the best person you can be. Sorry. I really shouldn't hate on his appearance. But no. I if you guys look at my old videos, I look like a freak. I look like totally a freak. So I guess maybe I am qualified to throw shade at people looking freaks but don't look good. Not that I looked good. Maybe it did. I don't know. Whatever. Fuck off.
To take your inner infinite potential and bring it forth into the world. Hyperianism is based on deductive truths and a priori logic. It is a mathematical system. Mathematics shows that reality is not based on matter, but instead on mathematical energy.
I was just about to say I'm speaking into my mathematical microphone. And you're watching me through my mathematical webcam on your mathematical computers or phones or tablets. Yep. Yep.
Sine and cosine waves. And you are not a body, but instead are a mind, a soul, which is an eternal system of mathematical energy, a complete and consistent set of all possible sine and cosine waves.
Let's wax philosophical here for a moment. Let's say, for example, that if we're taking the base philosophy that you can't really ever truly know something without having hard laws of the universe, and we do have hard laws of the universe, but even those with enough challenge and enough compelling data can effectively be changed. It's true, can. Law doesn't mean can never be changed. It's just it probably will never be. It's as close as we can get to an absolute. Well, it's very hard to argue on basis like how he argues Hyperianism. 1 + 1 = 2, whether you believe it or not, whether you understand it or not. 1 + 1 = 2. And you can understand that by, we ascribe descriptive labels onto things, like 1. 1 is a word, but 1 means a singular thing. Fine. And if you line up 2 apples, whether you know them as the word apple or the word 1 or singular, it doesn't change that there are now 2 of them. Fine. Totally fine. Okay. Understood. But math is still an observable effect. And I understand that using math as your basis for it is an immutable property of the universe does not then mean you can take math as a concept and just say, well, you're a mathematical being. What the fuck does that mean? What does that even mean? What are you even supposed to, like, be trying to describe here? Are you saying our genes are math? No, our genes are not math. You can count our genes using math. You can describe the interactions, the biochemical interactions with math, but also chemistry. But this is the interplay between science. This is how science is, well, depending on the scientific discipline, is rooted in mathematics. So science itself is dependent on mathematics. So if math is the only true thing, then the things that we derive from math have to be true as well, right? Or just no because you say so. That's probably what he means.
You, as a mind, are a self-organizing, evolving mathematical system of infinite energy. This is not a physical reality, but is instead a reality of mind, of thought, as defined by mathematical frequency.
Hang on. Somebody said, I hate math, but I also hate myself, so it makes perfect sense. Yay. That's one of the reasons why I love doing this one show a month. You guys in the chat are always just perfect. But he just says something amazing here. Let's listen to this again.
This is not a physical reality, but is instead a reality of mind, of thought, as defined by mathematical frequency.
Mathematical frequencies. Frequency is a scientific term. A scientific term that was determined using empirical data and observable, testable hypotheses. We understand what a frequency is by doing so. You're using science terms to describe your anti-science religion. You don't see a problem with this? I don't understand. And apparently we're all frequencies. Are we all vibrations? Huh? Are we in tune with our vibrational vibes and shit? Next thing you know, he's going to be saying you need to stick the right type of attuned crystal up your asshole, just like all those hippies. This is just nonsense. It's fucking nonsense.
The mathematical interactions of all the minds in existence give rise to what humanity calls space-time. Your mind and all of reality is governed by Euler's formula, the soul equation. Every mind, being a self-organizing system of mathematics, is seeking to increase its symmetry, to organize its internal mathematical energy into the most optimal pattern.
Prove it. Prove it. Prove it. Prove any of it. Prove any of it. Prove any of it. Can you show me the soul? Can you show me your soul? Can you objectively, with no frilly fucking terms or anything, can you show me your soul? Can you show me how I'm a mathematical being? Can you prove it? Can you prove any of this? Or does it rely on faith? Because if it relies on faith, it's not math. It's bullshit. It's just bullshit. I am starting to get hot. I'm starting to get heated.
To increase its power, to evolve. Hyperians are those that have consciously realized this, and thus are living their lives to become the best versions of themselves that they can possibly be.
Why? Why does a person even need to do that? Why doesn't a person have the free will to be the worst version of themselves that they want to be? Why does somebody have to believe that your bullshit is the best manner of living? It's very judgy. It's very arrogant.
To struggle, strive, and evolve. They are constantly going higher.
Evolution is science. Science is
higher and overcoming. We have a saying, per aspera ad astra, which means through hardships to the stars. This means that your struggle is a refining fire that builds you into a better person and will ultimately lead you to the stars themselves.
I'm feeling pretty fiery. I think I might make it to Mars at this point.
Humanity chooses the easy path, the path of least resistance. Hyperians choose the difficult path, the most rewarding path.
How exactly is it difficult to just simply believe shit? How is that difficult? Do you really sit there in your fucking spooky cave surrounded by your Hot Topic bullshit, and you sit there and think, man, making these videos really is difficult, or writing these weird freaky books and being edgy about suicide to try and lure people into my fucking sex cult sure is difficult. But no, the people who are out there, and they're research scientists, and they're testing things, and they're constantly going through grueling ass work, or people who are field scientists having to go on expeditions and dig through the mud and understand the basic fundamentals of our known reality through science. No, those guys, they got it fucking easy. Those guys, man, they're on a fucking vacation. Bunch of lazy ass degenerates don't understand the real nature or how hard I work, spanking it in my fucking dark room. Dude, fuck you. How many skulls does he have? Probably a lot. Yeah.
Throw yourself into the fires of life and rejoice in struggle, for it is through your overcoming that you will become gods and goddesses. The philosopher Henri Bergson said, "The universe is a machine for making gods. The living laws of
fuck that guy.
Mathematics shows that we are reality, experiencing itself through a multiplicity of individual selves, through you, through I. We are reality.
Are you hitting on me?
The universe. The universe, as expressed through us as individual minds, is becoming conscious of itself, and it maximizes its consciousness by realizing what it is through reason. This was understood by the great philosopher Hegel, as laid out in his book, The Phenomenology of Mind."
I'm going to go on to a rant about philosophy here pretty soon, but he's tempting me to do it now. I'm always cute when I'm angry. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. All right, you know what? Okay. Okay. Let's take a breath. Let's take a breath. I'm gonna equal myself out here. I'm just gonna kind of chill. I'm gonna show off my pretty badass Bunty King t-shirt here. No, I'm not selling them. I just made this one custom just for myself. To surprise Bunty with at Kilroy. He was very happy. I love Bunty King. Let's go and check over on Streamlabs. Let's see. Oh, Myaskill. Been too long since you've had your North Korean dongers, so here you go. Have a couple, thank you. And this dude looks fucking done. One can only wish. I don't know. Who knows? It's wild stuff, man. It's super wild. Okay. I think that we've gotten a really good basis for who Morg is and how nonsensical word salad Hyperianism is. I think this is good enough, right? I think so. So we can move on to the two videos that I really wanted to tackle. Really did. In other words, I'm flexing. Yeah, I'm kind of flexing. Kinda. See, been going for about an hour. I'm debating, should we take like a quick intermission and I can go to the bathroom? I think I want to, actually. But I planned for this, actually, so I'm not going to leave you guys without anything interesting or fun to watch. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put on a old 6-minute video about fluoride that I made 2 years ago, and you guys can just enjoy this while I go take a piss real quick. I'll be right back.
Hey kids, do you want to learn about fluoride?
I look so weird!
Let's do it! Fluoride is an anion of fluorine, a naturally occurring earth mineral and part of the periodic table of elements. It's anionic because it has just one more electron than just basic boring old fluorine. Fluoride is very abundant on the planet, usually found in the form of fluorite crystals, ooh, pretty, as well as trace elements found naturally within different types of food and in different rivers and streams. Fun fact, all tea leaves contain naturally occurring fluoride. So what's the big deal with this chemical, and why is all this controversy surrounding it? Well, for the most part, it has to do with something called water fluoridation. But before we get there, let's look at what fluoride is used for. The majority of fluoride is used for industrial purposes, like aluminum smelting or in the production of steel. We also use it to make hydrofluoric acid, which is invaluable for recycling because it helps to break down glass. Well, hey now, that seems a little strange. Didn't you say something about water? Why would we put an industrial chemical in our water? What a great question. But to answer that, we're gonna have to travel backwards in time. News brief, January 25th, 1945. Our top story. The brave men of our armed services have officially won a strategic victory over the Nazis in the Battle of the Bulge. In music news, Von Moore makes the top of the Billboard with Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow. But first, water fluoridation. Grand Rapids, Michigan will be the first U.S. town to undergo an addition of the miracle chemical to the public water. The effects of fluoride in preventing tooth decay has been noticed in the past, but intrepid scientists hope that this test will crack the code on how and why it works. And after the Grand Rapids test, a bunch of other tests were done all around the world, and they all found the exact same thing, a reduced amount of tooth decay. Wow! Okay, well, that's interesting and all, but how does that work? Tooth decay is an infectious disease. It forms a plaque on your teeth, which in turn, they produce an organic acid which starts to eat away at your enamel. We usually fight this through various different minerals and nutrients that are secreted through our saliva, and we call this remineralization. Now your teeth start to decay when the decay is faster than your saliva can remineralize it. Fluoride helps because fluoride forms a type of protective boundary around what you have surviving of your enamel. In this way, it doesn't really stop cavities from happening, but it kind of slows down tooth decay, so it's way more manageable. Hey man, you can't confuse me with that mumbo jumbo. I read on the internet that fluoride is an endocrine disruptor. I bet you have. The truth of the matter is, there's absolutely no verifiable research that suggests in any way that fluoride affects your endocrine system. Instead, we have over 70 years of research all saying the same exact thing.
I look so
fluoride
young.
is safe.
So young.
But it calcifies your pineal gland. And what exactly is your pineal gland? Only your third eye, duh. Right. Besides, they're trying to poison us. It causes ADHD. It numbs your brain. This is about mind control. Really? Okay, well, when you put it like that, it sounds kind of silly, but maybe they're trying to get rid of their toxic waste by just putting it into the water supply. Okay, let's break this one down, because this always kind of confused me. If you're trying to get rid of industrial waste, which is strange because fluoride is valuable and useful, why would you ship it all the way up into a city's water supply? Those are usually pretty inaccessible places, and it just seems kind of strange to me.
This is cringe,
if you're
I know.
this evil shadow corporation or whatever, why wouldn't you just dump it into the ocean or the streams or something? Why hide it in drinking water? That seems dumb.
It's almost over.
Well, it's still toxic! So you remember how I mentioned tea earlier? Mm-hmm. Well, the reason why I did is for comparative analysis.
Dude, the tinfoil hat was great.
Most adult humans need to drink about 3 liters of water a day. And if you're drinking it from a municipal tap system that has been fluoridated, you're going to receive from those 3 liters about 2.433 milligrams of fluoride daily, just from your water. Now, contrast that with a cup of black tea, and black tea naturally has its own fluoride in it. You don't gotta add anything to it. That 1 cup has 0.8 something milligrams of fluoride. So 3 cups of black tea is the same as 3 liters of municipal tap water, as far as how much fluoride you're getting. But why is this important? Well, because when it comes to chemistry and food science, really it's the dose that makes the poison. Too much of any one thing is obviously going to be bad for you.
He's right,
and we understand fluoride. We've understood it for a long time. We know how it works. But to really illustrate the point of how much we know a safe, acceptable level is, to have a toddler, a small child, get any negative effects whatsoever from water fluoridation, he would have to sit down and drink over 20 gallons of water in one sitting. That's a lot of water. The truth of the matter is that fluoride is a benefit to society, and we've been studying it for over 70 years. And in that time, 7 decades worth, there's been plenty of time to show that it harms anybody in any way. And if actually there was harm, real verifiable data that showed it could hurt somebody, that person would have won a Nobel Prize. That's a big deal. But conspiracy! Shh. No. It's okay. You can relax. There's nothing to be afraid of. Hello everyone, my name is Jeff Holiday and I make videos on science, skepticism,
the best part's
reason, all sorts of crazy stuff. If you like what I do, please hit the like, maybe subscribe. If you think that I'm totally awesome, you can support me on Patreon. And yeah, I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Bye. You see, most people don't actually understand, but the Illuminati is totally real, okay? The Illuminati has existed for hundreds of years. They control your media, they control your drugs, they control your food supply, they control everything. They've been around and they've been lurking in the shadows for... Hey! No!
That was pretty fun. That was a fun video to make. It was very, very cringy. I know, and I mean that was only 2 years ago, and I look very different now. Very different. No more dreads. I got the full beard rocking, looking more like a refined sea captain. And somebody said, oh, where was it? Oh gosh, that made me fucking laugh. Yeknomeno. The water didn't turn the frogs gay, it was babyface Jeff. Anyway, I should subscribe to that guy? Maybe. Seems kind of like a douche. I needed to take a break away from Morg for a minute. Just for a minute. And get like some orange juice, because I still can't drink. And now I can get mad again. Now I can get mad. So yeah, let's do this. See, half the chat thinks the dreads are great, and the other half thinks the dreads are gross. They were kind of both. I'm glad I don't have them anymore, though. All right, let's get mad. Let's get angry.
To understand existence, you first have to understand the concept of non-existence.
The name of this video is Science Can't Explain the Laws of Physics. So, the first two that we watched are from last year. This is from last month, maybe about 3 weeks ago, and then the one that we're going to finish off with was made 6 days ago. So this is the more recent Hyperianism stuff. So, we'll see how he's evolved.
But let's start with the universe and see if we can work our way backwards to non-existence. The universe, according to science, is a place of space, time, and matter. So what happens if we remove all of these, if we strip space, time, and matter from the universe?
Then we would have nothing. Okay. Good video.
Would that abolish existence and leave us with non-existence?
Yes.
According to Abrahamism, if you took space, time, and matter away, you wouldn't be left with non-existence at all, but with the supposed creator of space, time, and matter.
Okay. So what?
Namely, God. According to Eastern religion... Well,
oh, I forgot. He goes through like a fucking bajillion of these. Strap in.
What would remain would be some sort of cosmic consciousness, a bare consciousness, some mental component, a unity, wholeness, and interconnectedness which generates the universe as Maya, illusion, a phenomenon produced by a noumenal mind that underlies everything. What does philosophy say? The pre-Socratic philosopher Anaximander said that underneath everything was the apeiron, the infinite, the limitless, the beginning, the origin, the arche, the first principle. Pythagoras said that number was the root of everything. Anaxagoras said it was nous, cosmic mind. Plato said that it was a set of eternal, perfect, transcendent forms. Aristotle said it was God, which he defined as pure actuality, matterless form, pure thought, thinking about pure thought. Plotinus, the Neoplatonist, said it was an ineffable one beyond being. The Gnostics said it was the pleroma, the spiritual world.
Where is this dude's eyebrows? He used his mystical powers of math and subtracted them.
World of pure light. Leibniz said it was monads. Kant said it was an unknowable noumenon. Hegel said it was the dialectical Geist, mind, spirit. Schopenhauer said it was brute will to exist. Nietzsche said it was the will to power. Stephen Hawking said the origin of the universe can be explained by the laws of physics. These laws predict that the universe was spontaneously created out of nothing in a rapidly expanding state.
No. No, they haven't. No, they haven't. They never did. They never did. Never did. Physics, physics and current models of astronomy have predicted that the universe comes from, and he's going to say it here in a second, actually, here.
This is called inflation.
Right, inflation. But inflation does not say that everything came from nothingness. It says that all science, all math, leads towards one singular point in a causal direction till where we cannot see any further because of the boundaries of our ability to measure, and then they theorize that it came from a singular point. What came before it? They don't know. They also only guess and come up with interesting theories about it, but to say that that physics itself expresses that it comes from nothing is extremely inaccurate and stupid, and a pure example of how you don't understand the subject matter at hand. But I digress. Let's go.
So, according to Hawking and the worshippers of the cult of scientism, what exists before space, time, and matter is not non-existence per se, but the laws of physics. So,
as he goes through this video too, I notice he leans back further and further. I think he's got some inflation of helium in his prefrontal cortex. Like when you're so fucking woke, you feel like your evolved mammalian brain is just like ascending, so you have to tilt upward. It's something I see a lot of pseudo-intellectuals do pretty often.
Where are these laws? What's their location?
That's why you got to do the Chad hang, you know? It's that virgin fart huffing intellectual lift, and then the Chad hang, man. The Chad hang is like, I don't need to prove how smart I am. I'm just like, whatever. Never mind. Whatever.
What do they exist in? What conveys them if there is no space, time, or matter? Well, they must be immaterial, since they're not material. But
hang on. This is important, and this is where I'm going to lose my shit.
So, according to Hawking and the worshippers of the cult of scientism, what exists before space, time, and matter is not non-existence per se, but the laws of physics. So,
whether something exists... Keep going.
So where are these laws? What's their location? What do But the laws of physics. So where are these laws? What's their location? What do they exist in? What conveys them if there is no space, time, or matter? Well,
where are the laws of physics? I don't know. In an apartment in Brooklyn, man. They exist in a box. They exist in a fucking what? Where are the laws of physics? Where in the physical reality are the laws of what? What the fuck are you talking about? Where is Hyperianism? Where is your soul? Can you point to it? Is what? How do you require the laws of physics to be a physical manifestation? Do you require oh my god.
They must be immaterial, since they're not material. But don't scientists say that nothing immaterial exists?
Got him. If science says that immaterial doesn't exist, then how can we have immaterial concepts? Got him. Ooh, nailed it. What the fuck are you talking about? Well, can you point to me where math is? But math to you is objectively true, and it is thus immaterial. Are you using this as like your basis to hammer in on how there is such a thing as the immaterial, and if science says there's immaterial, then that is how science is wrong? That's such an absolutely bizarre fucking concept for me to even consider. Okay, do you want to know where physics exists? I'll tell you exactly where physics exists. It exists up here. It exists inside your mind, whether you like it or not. It exists within the collective consciousness of every fucking human being on the planet who is familiar with it. It exists as part of memory engrams, an actual biochemical reaction inside of our neurology. There is actually a physical location to where these things are. They exist inside of thoughts. The chat's been typing THOT thoughts anytime he says thoughts, so that now it's in my head, and I'm thinking in some hoochie mama. But no, they exist as conceptual frameworks inside of our minds. That doesn't mean that they're not true.
What a joke! They're refuted by their own laws, which are immaterial, outside space and time, not subject to entropy, and exist at a temperature of absolute zero.
Thoughts are absolutely subject to entropy. What the shit? I mean, not entropy in the same method of thermodynamics entropy, but I mean, Jesus Christ, of course thoughts can erode and disappear from collective consciousness if they're not necessarily something that people believe in and continue to spread. That's like mimetic ideology. That's a basic psychological concept, and sociological too. Oh my god.
And are eternal, all totally incompatible with the claims of scientism. Ludicrously, materialist scientists say that nothing non-material can exist. Really? What about the laws of physics? When are they going to suddenly blink out of existence? When did they suddenly blink into existence out of non-existence? By what miracle? The law.
Like any physics student has ever said that thoughts are immaterial, that these greater concepts are somehow breaking physics. It's irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant to the conversation. I think, therefore physics wrong. What? No. Fuck off.
Laws of physics aren't made out of anything physical. Hence, they are immaterial. Stephen Hawking.
Well, they're made out of memory engrams. They're made out of the biochemistry of our brains, so yeah, I guess they are technically physical.
Wrote, one of the basic rules of the universe is that nothing is perfect. Perfection simply doesn't exist.
I disagree. Princess Vitara is perfect. If you don't know who Princess Vitara is, you need to go look her up. She's great.
Without imperfection, neither you nor I would exist. Again, really? Aren't the laws of physics perfect, Stephen? If they weren't perfect...
Why would you claim that the laws of physics are necessarily perfect? Like, why would anybody ever make a claim that anything is perfection? The very basis of reality is that reality itself has yet to be completely defined. And thank God it hasn't, because can you imagine a more boring existence where we understand everything? There's nothing to explore, nothing to understand. Science exists to be broken. Like I said, science exists for testing hypotheses, formulating theories. This is all about the discovery of science. What the fuck?
They would be totally unreliable and totally unstable, and they would produce a totally unreliable and unstable universe, and it would self-destruct instantly. Imagine imperfect laws. How would you be able to work out what they were, given that their imperfections would keep generating bizarre, unpredictable, irrational, and illogical results? You couldn't have a universe at all without perfect laws, and the only
Why? Why? Where do you draw this fucking conclusion? You couldn't have a universe at all without perfect laws? Why? Why? Why would you even come to this conclusion? Do you require, for your own comfort, that the universe be perfect? That sounds like a very religiously minded idealism to me. I like that things are not perfect. I celebrate that things are not perfect. What?
Perfect eternal laws are those of mathematics, not science. Stephen Hawking was a shockingly inept philosopher, and
he wasn't a philosopher. He was an astrophysicist.
exactly because of that, all of his scientific speculations were totally incoherent and basically absurd. If you can't explain, understand, and define the laws of physics, how on earth can you expect to explain and understand the universe that they create? The two are absolutely connected.
So you just know shit, and thus, oh my god.
You can't explain why and how the laws exist, and in what they exist, and in what way they exist, then how can you explain the universe to which they give rise?
By deductive reasoning, by interpreting the materialistic world through sense data. Like, what?
Putting the cart before the horse. Scientists are clueless speculators. Richard Feynman said, "In general, we look for a new law by the following. First, we guess it. No, don't laugh. That's really true."
Yes, that is true. That's part of the scientific method. You have a question. And then you observe, and you form your hypothesis from that. What is wrong with that? And this is going to be your gotcha again, huh?
There you have it, straight from the horse's mouth. The main tool of science is not working out things rationally, but guessing.
How is that the main tool of science? The main tool of science is testing hypotheses. It's not the basis for, like, making a guess is not the main tool of science, you fucking idiot. How do you draw this? How gullible do you require people to be to fall for your shit? To blatantly state something so absolutely, abjectly fucking incorrect that the main tool of science is guesswork. The main tool of science is testing. It's measuring. Also, you shouldn't be throwing shade at horses. Just saying.
Just making random stabs in the dark. The laws of physics are actually entirely consistent with Platonic forms. Yet science despises Plato and his perfect, eternal, immutable, transcendent forms outside space and time.
No, it's just irrelevant. Okay, it's like the same. Okay, it's like the same thing. Like when you get into a conversation with somebody about God and religion, you cannot use science to disprove God, nor can you use science to prove God. It is a completely externalized concept. You can't test for God. That doesn't necessarily mean that God is right or true. It just simply means that it is something that is outside the purview of science. Belief in a God requires faith, just like belief in Hyperianism requires faith. Science does not require faith. Science requires evidence. It requires results. That's the basis for the whole thing.
Which give rise to space, time, and matter. Look at the following comparison. Plato's laws are eternal, perfect, immutable, outside space and time, immaterial, transcendent, with zero entropy. Science's laws are eternal, perfect, immutable, outside space and time, immaterial, transcendent, with zero entropy.
Conceptual philosophical models are the same as conceptual philosophical models, so they're the same, even though they say completely wildly divergent things.
So, shouldn't every scientist be studying Plato? Yet none do. The first thing science has to do is explain its own laws. If it can't explain them, it can't explain anything else. You can't use scientific experiments to explain the laws of science, only to observe their effects.
What? Say that again. I want to make sure I'm not misquoting you on this.
Can't explain anything else. You can't use scientific experiments to explain the laws of science, only to observe their effects.
You can't what?
If it can't explain them, it can't explain anything else. You can't use scientific experiments to explain the laws of science, only to observe their effects.
I see. Okay. So, particle accelerators cannot explain particle physics. Okay. I guess we're just like smashing them together for no fucking reason at all. So using that science, just it doesn't make any sense. I understand like mapping the human genome to explain the laws of evolution and the laws of cellular or not laws, but the basis for cellular biochemistry. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Using science to explain these things doesn't work. We just made them up, and we do these experiments for no fucking reason, just for funsies. Oh my god, what the fuck? What the fuck? How completely mind-fuckingly stupid do you have to be to really believe this shit? Do you actually listen? Do you preview your own videos before you release them? Do you actually have the capacity for rational thought to really think about what you're saying? Like, I have Josh Feuerstein is a hardcore Christian fundamentalist who spouts off all sorts of crazy, inane, hateful shit, and he makes more sense than you. He makes more sense than you because at least his, in some realm, just simply has a good explanation for it. Well, my book says this, so that's what I believe. Fine. But you to say this entire thousands of years of history and understanding and human knowledge is just simply wrong because reasons is amazing.
Scientists have never grasped that simple fact. That's because they're empiricists, not rationalists.
I feel like I'm getting high off of how stupid this
is. Can explain the laws of physics, and that means that reason and logic can also explain everything produced by those laws. And that means that everything is in fact mathematical, not scientific.
Okay, here we go. All right, you know what? This is the thing that I have a huge fucking problem with. Hyperianism, by and large, is all about this. It's effectively like some weird woo-woo, higher self-evolving, soul-based, free love, everybody get naked, weird goth freak fuck off, everything's math, cult. Okay, fine, whatever. If that's what you want to do, you want to get naked and fucking rut in the dirt with a bunch of really gullible fucking goth chicks, fine, have fun, whatever, I don't give a fuck. But you have a really quintessential fucking problem here. You're disparaging everything about physics. This whole video is science can't explain the laws of physics. Well, here's the problem. The problem is that physics is effectively applied mathematics. Mathematics on its own means nothing. It's just simply calculation. It's the understanding of numbers and interactions. That's what math is. What you do with math is effectively physics. Most of the time, the actual application of mathematics is in some way tied into physics. Physics is the how of things. Whereas you have things like chemistry. Chemistry is the what of things. Biology is the why of things. And physics is the how. Physics is the scientific discipline that holds all of it together, and its basis is in mathematics. Physics requires mathematics. It is the actual application of what you think the entire universe is fucking made up of. That is the thing that is then utilized by physics to make predictive models and explain shit. You don't do any of that. You just say, well, it's all math. Well, how? Well, just because. Fuck off. Like, you don't provide any fucking answers. It's just this super flowery fucking dog shit. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean fucking anything. It's just babble. Weird fucking babble.
Here's a simple question for all scientists. If you removed mathematics from science, what would be left of science? Nothing at all. At least nothing of any rational worth. Mathematics, however, doesn't need science. So who needs empirical science? When it comes to answering the ultimate foundational questions of existence, the answer is that no one needs it.
Then throw away your fucking computer. Throw away your fucking cell phone. Throw away your clothes and your fancy little makeup and whatever treatment you use on your hair. Throw away everything in your life and go live in the fucking dirt. Go and do it. Stop taking medicine. Stop utilizing any type of hygiene products whatsoever. Go off and simply exist as a natural fucking being in a goddamn cave. Go for it. Go for it. Better not light a fucking fire. 'Cause fire is the application of, well, physics. Don't do anything. Just simply lay there and exist in your state of perfect mathematical fucking being. You massive flaming fucking hypocrite.
Everything that science does can be done much more rationally and logically by ontological mathematics, the mathematics of Hyperianism. Scientists aren't good at using reason and logic, and that's because they're sensing types, not thinking types. They believe that we live in a sensory empirical world. We don't.
Yes, we do.
We live in a rational world which has a sensory empirical aspect. You can't understand the latter without understanding the former. Science has never grasped this basic fact, nor could it ever, because it rejects reason and logic and relies on the senses. The senses are shallow. They show you surfaces and appearances. They only show you the holos. They can never get you to the source. They never show you what things are in themselves.
Okay. Oh, so you remember at the beginning of the stream and I was like, yeah, I want to do something a little bit lighter because my ears still kind of hurts, I don't want to tackle like this really heavy concepts and everything. I think this is going to give me a fucking aneurysm. I really do. Again, has Hyperianism ever given us any actual definable explanations for why anything has happened aside from math? Ever? At all? Do you have a better option? Because if you do, I would love to test it. Otherwise, you just talk a bunch of shit. I just simply know. I know because I know. Fantastic. Wow. I know you're an idiot. I don't have to prove it through science.
Noumena. Only reason and logic can tell you what things actually are in themselves. Only reason and logic can lead you to the source. Scientists have failed to comprehend this. The only part of science that works is the mathematical part. All the rest is nonsense, an absurd product of the absurd philosophy of empiricism and materialism.
That's right, yep. Immunology, nonsense. Thermodynamics, nonsense. Electromagnetism, nonsense. Astronomy is nonsense. Air conditioning, nonsense. Coffee machines, nonsense. Flashlights, nonsense. Awesome, nonsense. Never mind.
Which, as anyone who has studied David Hume knows, leads to total skepticism and the total annihilation of substantive knowledge. Scientists don't know that because scientists don't know anything about philosophy. Scientists believe that that's a strength. In fact, it's an intellectual catastrophe. Scientists are not intellectuals. They are glorified technicians, calculators. Kurt Gödel said, I don't believe in empirical science. I only believe in a priori truth. It's time the world got on board with that agenda. But only the smartest people in the
fuck off. Okay. Alright. Let's take a look at his next one here, just a second. And also, maybe, somebody just reminded me of him. Maybe we'll round this out with a little palate cleanser. We'll look at a quick Richie from Boston video before we round it out. But I want to look at this one more morgue video, and we'll see how far we get in it. Let's see. Over here on Stremlabs, we've got Lori Mikola, Eat My Finish Censored. What the hell, Jeff? Oh my. Andrew, hey Jeff, check your Instagram DMs. I made you a morgue meme, but I don't have Twitter. I never check Instagram, but I will check it here in a little bit. Myaskill, looks like old Lucius Malfoy had some accidents with them sex change potions. Side effects include sex cults and thinking he knows Muggle science. Kappa. And Average Joe says, please stop this. Yeah. Man, alright. Morgue Official was a mistake, but yeah, let's go! Let's go!
Let's make something very fucking clear. If you're opposed to reason and logic, you should be considered literally insane.
Hey, it's me! This is irrationalist should be considered insane. Stupidity has led to insanity. Okay.
And they ought to put insane people in mental asylums. But instead, in this trash planet, they post trolling remarks on social media, proving once and for all that they're the perfect examples of the Dunning-Kruger effect and suffer from...
I have a problem when people say the Dunning-Kruger effect. 9 times out of 10, when somebody says a Dunning-Kruger effect, that could be directly applied to them. Almost every single fucking time. Every single fucking time. You yourself are a blissful example of the Dunning-Kruger effect, my friend. Whoo, boy. Wow. Yeah. Everybody else is wrong, but I know. My farts smell fucking amazing. Don't they? Don't they? Jesus.
Illusory intellectual superiority, despite attacking reason and logic itself, the very basis of intelligence, without which humans would be no better than brutes in the jungle. And let's be honest, most of them are no better. Hyperians assert that the only way to truth is through logic and reason and mathematics. People will often say that rationalism is wrong and then insanely try to give reasons why. How can you think that you can use reason to attack reason? That's literal insanity.
Can't use reason to attack reason. No, that's called a conversation, you fucking moron. You could say, I am using reasoning skills. You could say, I am being reasonable. Doesn't really mean that you are. And reasonable is also a matter of subjective interpretation based upon different people's lived experiences and their value sets. I, for instance, being a reasonable person, I like to think so, think that you are not a reasonable person, and I think that you're a douchebag. That's really what I get from my reasoning, my logic. But hey, you know?
What kind of people say that logic is illogical and reason irrational? Well, there's one thing that you can be 100% sure of. These people are not using logic and reason. So what are they?
See, my logic and reason trumps your logic and reason. It's kind of like that, oh yeah, well, I can count to 1 million. Well, I can count to 1 million plus 1. 1 million plus infinity. Fuck you. 1 million plus infinity plus 1. Whatever. It's so dumb.
They're using illogic and unreason, and that's exactly why they reach illogical and irrational conclusions. Look, it couldn't be simpler. Either everything that happens has a sufficient reason, or there is no reason for anything at all.
So, can you give an actual good reason for anything? An example of Hyperianism at work? How everything, our entire existence, our hollow reality is all math? Can you give a reason for it? Some evidence? A testable hypothesis? Or even just an actual demonstration of it? No? Seems you break your own theory there, buddy.
This is a zero-sum game. You can't have any mixture between sufficient reasons and no reasons at all. Ooh. In other words, there's no way that rational syntax can rationally interact with irrational syntax. You can't have laws of physics interacting with laws of magic. There is only one law, one universal law, and that is the law of ontological mathematics.
Mathematics, which are then applied to the reality of our world using physics,
which is the principle of sufficient reason. The enemies of rationalism, ironically, try to use all the tropes of rationalism in order to refute it. They say things like, this can't be right because of this argument. This is irrational. This is illogical. This makes no rational sense.
I delete your subjective reality and replace it with my own.
And so on. How can you use the rationalist form to attack rationalism? Martin Luther, an extremist person of faith, at least had the consistency to openly despise reason. He wrote, "Reason is the devil's whore. Throw dung at her and make her ugly." All irrationalists, which are mystics, believers, emotionalists, and empiricists, are in exactly the same game as the shit-thrower Martin Luther. Luther, the Protestant Christian, rightly saw reason as the total enemy of faith. He didn't try to argue with the rationalists. He simply insisted that if reason ever contradicted faith, then faith was always right.
Your entire belief system is rooted and based on faith, man. I'm sorry.
That's the position of an absolute irrationalist. Anyone that attacks rationalism is just another Luther, another Protestant, protesting against reason and logic. Another person that believes that something other than reason is the way to understand reality. So what is this thing that's apparently not rational, yet more truthful than reason? It surely can't be subjective, fallible, unreliable human faith and emotions. It can't be subjective, fallible, unreliable human experience. It can't be the subjective, fallible, unreliable human senses. And it can't be the subjective, unreliable, fallible, mystical human intuitions. All of these are fundamentally irrational, subjective, and illogical.
So you replace it with...
and are no possible basis of truth, knowledge, and understanding. The idea that humans have access to something truer than reason and logic is comical and deranged. You would need to be totally irrational and illogical to believe it. But sadly, that's exactly what nearly all human beings are.
Okay. Oh God, he's gonna fucking quote McKenna. All right, let's see where he goes with the McKenna thing, and then I think I'm fucking done with this dude. Honestly, you guys are champs, the ones who have been sticking through this with me, because this is gnarly. This is so damn gnarly. Oh boy, yeah. There's only so far we can go with this, but let's listen to what he says about McKenna, and then we're gonna take a break from him. We'll be done with him. And we'll just do a couple of light, fluffy things to round out the stream.
Terence McKenna said, "The greatest evil that has been allowed to flourish in the absence of mathematical understanding is relativism. And what is relativism? It's the idea that there is no distinction between shit and shinola, that all ideas are somehow operating on equal footing. Shit and shinola is exactly what you get when you turn your back on reason and logic, on rationalism and mathematics."
Okay, here's the thing. McKenna had some really interesting ideas. Don't get me wrong, he did. But McKenna is also the guy who talked about the machine elves living in the alternate dimension. Like, no. I'm sorry, man. When McKenna is something that you're bringing out and hoisting as a weapon, I'm sorry. No. Oh my God. Okay. We'll do something a little bit more fun here to round this out, because my God, Haley, hey Jeff, new subscriber here. Found you through your Angry MGTOW video and thought it was some of the funniest shit ever. You're so easy to watch and listen to and make some great points. Keep it up. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I had forgotten all about Angry MGTOW. Angry MGTOW is actually back now. He's now making videos under Angry Madman. And apparently he forgot how to use audio channels, so like half his videos only come through one speaker. It's great. It's absolutely great. It's a lot of fun. Okay, here we go. We're gonna refresh ourselves with some Richie from Boston. We didn't watch him last month. We watched him the month before that, I think it was. Yeah, when we fell down this crazy rabbit hole with Rachel Renestra and a bunch of other things too. But yeah, to put a little pin in it, you know, we got here, let's go over here. We got Morg here. Morg's full of shit. Just wildly full of shit. His cult has no more basis in logistical reality. It is not logical. It is not rational. It's just a bunch of more make-believe, faith-based crap that has even less basis in it than any mainstream religion. At least they have basics and standards and a long-standing tradition, you know. So, get fucking wrecked, dude. Fuck you. Fucking idiot. Oh my god. Alright. Let's watch some Richie from Boston. This one's called Microwave Weapons.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. Today's Wednesday, and I apologize for not putting out any videos today or yesterday, but I had a serious toothache.
I feel you, dude. Toothaches are no good. I've had an earache lately. How you doing, Richie from Boston? What's going on, bro?
Wicked bad, and I ended up having to go to Tufts today and get it squared away for the most part. So, tomorrow, at some point, I'm going to release the website. The website will be for everybody. It's all good.
All right.
Just, I've been missing the website designer, or he's been missing me. One of the two. And tomorrow, at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I'll be on Republic Radio again with Chris Hinckley, the Road Warrior.
Talk about the microwave weapons.
If you want to check that out, we'll be talking about Nephilim and giants and so forth and so on. But I feel like crap right now. Toothaches don't allow you to sleep. I don't do well without sleep. I'm in traffic right now. Traffic sucks. People suck. Look at me, making a video while I'm driving. But as you can see, it's hands-free. You see what I mean?
Why did you title this Microwave Weapons, dude?
So, one of my subscribers, the guy that sent me those pictures from 40,000 feet, which is 7 miles up in the air yesterday.
Okay.
He's donating 10 1.5 ounce silver coins so I can give them away to one of you or two of you. Maybe just one.
Why did you title this Microwave Weapons?
Silver
Richie?
Out of my own pocket.
Richie?
I ended up giving it away to the wrong guy and then still had to hook the right guy up. So there's that. At any rate, Richie from Boston, the website will be up.
Oh my god, Richie, you failed me.
I'll tell you what it is tomorrow.
Dude, Richie, seriously, dude? Alright, you know what?
I'll be on Republic
I don't know if I can
Radio
give you that much free promotion. There's over 500
that.
people. Like, okay.
At any rate,
Richie, there's over 500 people watching live right now. You title a video Microwave Weapons to totally throw me off, and it's a status update about how you're feeling sick and you're going to open up a website? Really, dude? Really, man? All right, fine. Spraying poison in the skies. Let's see you talk about chemtrails at least. Jesus, Richie. Come on, man. What the fuck is this? Oh, Richie. Oh, there you go. Richie from Boston.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. Today's the 11th of June. It's 2018, and this is the sky last night. This is the sunset. And droves of people lined up to take pictures of it, not noticing the unbelievable amount of ridiculous layers of clouds, coal ash, aluminum, barium, strontium, everything just lingering directly and only in front of the sun. It doesn't...
and the strontium and everything in front of... The chemtrails, you mean? Just say the chemtrails, dude.
Doesn't even bother them that planes like this that have two engines that use either jet fuel A or jet fuel B, depending on the weather. If it's winter, is it cold, or is it the summertime? Doesn't even bother them that planes like this are clearly spraying two separate compounds. You can see it right here. Do you see that?
You see that? Two different compounds.
See this side where two elements are coming out of one engine. On the other side, one element is. And this stretches from horizon to horizon. Now, I'm no Mike Decker, so I'm not very steady with the camera, but I tried.
I mean, have you been feeling your homicidal impulses starting to increase there, Richie? Maybe it's increasing them homosexual urges, maybe? Actually, I've been watching Richie from Boston for a while. I haven't been able to figure out what he thinks chemtrails do. I can't tell. I think, because he believes, like, almost every conspiracy theory. He believes in, like, the flat earth, he believes in chemtrails, Illuminati, that kind of shit. So, it's like, and the Nephilim and giants and that kind of stuff. So I don't know, man.
I got some time-lapse video, and then I took some video of this coming out of the back of the plane, going from one side of the horizon to the other. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is information that's been out since last year. But the problem is, I've been making videos about this for almost 7 years now, 8 years, one of the two. And it's the same exact thing. The scientists talk about perhaps using chemtrails. They've been using them for years. The science messing
Okay, I'm gonna
with
sit
the
down.
sky
Here we
is
go.
exactly
Okay, take a
what
breath.
caused what they call
Sorry.
climate change. And it amazes me how many academics, how many people that got bachelor's, master's degrees, so forth and so on, cannot see the forest for the trees.
That's right.
Do you remember the old days when there was acid rain? Well, that's because they were using sulfuric acid. It didn't work out. It kept coming down. So
They were spraying everything with a bunch of sulfuric acid, but unfortunately the sulfuric acid started falling down. Go figure. Fuck. Gravity's a bitch, right?
they got rid of it. You never hear about it anymore. Do you think it's a coincidence that I've been talking about David Keith since, I don't know, 2013? And exactly the method and the means that they were going to use to spray the sky? These guys have been doing this. This is what people call global warming. See this video? 5 years ago, I put this video up, and I was saying the exact same thing. Dr. David Keith spraying the sky, so forth and so on. It's an old video. I've been around for a long time, and I've been saying the same thing for a long time.
Somebody in the chat, I'm blowing chemtrails. You're damn right. There you go. You guys feeling gayer yet?
They finally came out. And the reason that they came out is they knew that too many people were starting to understand what was really going on. So they came out with predictive programming and said, we're going to start spraying the sky, but we need to save carbon emissions, so forth and so on. It doesn't even dawn on people that CO2 is plant food. It's part of photosynthesis.
Okay.
This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's the biggest conspiracy going on the earth right now. These guys are spraying the sky every day. They're blocking out the sun. They're screwing with the weather. And worse, we're breathing all this heavy metal in.
Okay.
And anytime somebody points a finger, they simply show the Antarctic. Again, you know, the place that nobody's allowed to go.
Right.
People need to start waking up.
That's right.
Before it's too late.
You're not allowed to... Dude, seriously? You're not allowed to go to Antarctica because you'll see the giant ice wall that keeps the Night King out. I mean, the edge of the Earth. So everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Get woke. This guy makes me want to drink. Yeah, dude. Richie for Boston's amazing. I love this dude. He's amazing. He's a gem. The other one that's a gem is Rachel Renestra, and I've played her a lot. There's a video of hers where she talks about Anthony Bourdain, Kate Spade. The seed has been planted, but it's a half an hour long. I'm not gonna do it on this stream, but I will look and see if there's some juicy bits for another time, because my God, if ever there's something that really makes me cackle like a loon, is when you have people like with crazy suicide theories or murder theories. You know, this person was assassinated because they knew too much. I mean, just incredible. I love that kind of stuff. It's so wild. But yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like having to listen to Morgue Official really did a number on me. It really legitimately did. I don't know, man. I don't know. Don't know if I can handle it. I mean, we've been going for 2 hours. I really don't have a whole lot going on today until Saints later today. So, I mean, we could take a quick break and check out a little bit of that Rachel Renestra and see where it goes, see if it goes crazy, or we could just wrap it up now. What do you guys think? Should we keep going? Press 1 if we should keep going. Press 2 if this is good. This is good for the month for Wingnut Roundup. Let me know. Let me see. And meantime, while you guys do some voting, I'm gonna find something here. Something to play if I'm going to pee. I hear more. I'm seeing more. Morg broke my brain. Dude, Morg did break my brain. My DTF? I'm always DTF. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. Hey, if you guys are having fun, let's have fun. Let's go crazy. Let's do something ridiculous. Let me find. Yeah, this'll work. This'll work right here. This is actually from the band Jinx, and this is Justin Wang's band. So I'll play one of their songs, just a little bit, maybe like 40 seconds or so for me to go take a piss. So I'll be right back. And we'll keep going. Yeah, I love this band. I love this band. Justin Wang and his bandmates are so talented. If you guys are not subscribed to Wang, W-H-A-N-G, on YouTube, he's amazing. He's become kind of like an internet historian, and just like old school like internet tropes and weird old memes and like where they came from, where they went, where people are now. It's just great. It's super great. And the band Jinx is also on YouTube. You can listen to more of their music. It's great stuff. But yeah, all right. You guys voted. You guys want a little bit more, so we'll do a little bit more. We'll go ahead and we'll look at Rachel Renestra's video about Anthony Bourdain. We'll see if there's anything wackadoo in it. She's an insane person. She is legitimately crazy. So, yeah, screw it. Let's see what she's got for us here. All right, Rachel, it's your time now, Rachel. Hi,
I
Rachel.
am at a place called Tree People, which is about literally 10 minutes away from where I live. This is a lot of the Hollywood or Los Angeles that not many people see because
She does babble a lot, but she's not hard on the eyes, so at least there's that, right?
when they think of Hollywood, they think of American Idol or anything but a lot of nature. And this is one of my favorite places to go to. I volunteered here before. It's called Tree People. And
Cool.
These are all seedlings
Cool.
of potential trees that volunteers help nurture for the first few years so that when it's planted in the wild, we have more trees. And
Okay, Rachel.
it will start with a good foundation, like a strong few years before it gets out into Mother Nature, so it has a better chance of surviving. So this is the power of seed, and a little bit of a metaphor I wanted to bring up, just because
listening.
I thought of it the second I saw it. A single seed can produce a forest. Under the right conditions, a planted tree seed will sprout into a seedling. The seedling will eventually grow into an adult tree capable of producing seeds for new generations of many trees to come. Just one seed.
I got some seed for you. I'm not going to make any dirty jokes.
In the right conditions. Which brings me to what
I'm
I want to
ashamed
talk
of
about. So Oprah is here with me today. That's my dog. I just think it's important that no matter what, I start to get into nature, because I've been finding that the more I'm on the computer, the more I'm looking up things, the more I just don't feel healthy. And I love YouTube, and I love research, and I have questions about everything, especially recently the 2 suicides, Anthony Bourdain and Kate Spade. And I almost made a video about that. And
hello, my name is Richard Cunningham, and this is my wife, Oprah. So, little throwback to, yep.
And then I thought, well, there are quite a few videos about that right now. And yeah, it could probably get a ton of views. But the truth is, both of those suicides are suspicious. And
here we go. Yes.
And I don't know the answer. I know from being at the heart of a conspiracy and having people say a lot of things about me that wasn't true, I would never want to contribute to that in this case, especially with the loss of life. So unless I absolutely know for sure, I just don't want to put energy into it.
Yet here we are with a half an hour long video with their names in it. Go on.
I can tell you that it is a little suspicious, and then even looking into Anthony Bourdain and his girlfriend and all the different Instagram posts that still confuse me. I just don't know, guys. I don't know. And I think that the more attention that I give something like that, I just feel gross, you know? Which brings me back to the seed and the tree. This place makes me feel alive, being around nature. And also, like, it's one of the things wonderful about California is I am in a city, which I love, but I'm also really close to nature. And you're probably thinking, well, how does that have anything to do with Anthony Bourdain and Kate Spade, or YouTube in general? I'm just trying to make another metaphor here. So,
Go
showed
on.
you the seed one, right? This is the right tree. So I literally just walked up to this. It's what I love about this place. It educates a little
Dog
bit.
is so great, dude.
Over decades, tree people, that's this place, people that volunteer, have learned that they plant over 2 million trees a year.
Oh,
But
okay.
if you plant that tree the wrong location, meaning that type of tree needs to be nurtured and supported in a certain type of environment for that tree for it to be able to grow.
Uh-huh.
For example, the climate, the soil, the space, all that kind of stuff. Every tree is different, so every tree, you have to take into consideration all those things, or no matter how healthy the tree is, it just won't grow.
Uh-huh.
So bring that up because the seed thing is what I've been thinking about a lot lately, feeling overwhelmed, like there's just not anything that we or most people can do about the condition of the world or the nefarious dark energies that are out there and seem to plague the world right now.
Hang on. Did I miss something? What does this have to do with trees and seeds? What? What is she? Oh, okay. Oh my god. Okay. All right.
There's also a ton of beauty. Like a ton of beauty that there's some of us, it's right outside the door. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is just like one of many hikes in LA. Wish I could close up on that for you. It's just so unbelievably beautiful. It's really quiet up here, and all you hear are the wind and the trees. And I guess the point of what I wanted to say, because I have been thinking about this for a week. I haven't posted
please, get to the point. Get to the point.
Well, number one, I had a root canal, and it's still painful.
But why is everybody talking about like their tooth pain in the videos right now?
Also, I want to think a little bit more about what I put out into the world as far as YouTube or anything that's on social media, because it can get intoxicating. It can be addicting to, feel like we've got the upper hand. If we know what they're telling us isn't true. I mean, I get it. We've been lied to.
Rachel, by the way, is Rachel, by the way, is totally all about chemtrails as well. I'm trying to remember what the video was that I found her through. It was because she was talking to some doctor. She got this wingnut doctor to admit something. What the fuck was that? Oh, it was amazing. It was super, super amazing. I think he was talking about, maybe he's talking about chemtrails? No, he was talking about vaccines and how vaccines were fucking bullshit. That's what it was. So she's an anti-vaxxer and a chemtrail fanatic and all sorts of crazy ass shit. She also made the weird I'm on a date with my Alexa videos. Those are pretty good too. She's great.
Entire life and most stories on mainstream, even on the internet, are they're not true. And I guess seeking the truth is to question everything. However, and this is where I get back to the seed and the tree analogy, is that one person, one seed can create a forest. One seed. But it has to be in the right conditions or it won't. And for me, I was starting to feel like being on YouTube so much and the internet and just being in front of a screen wasn't the condition that was helping me grow. It wasn't the condition that was feeding my spirit, my heart. It just felt
maybe you should join Hyperianism.
It's a good example. I think it felt like the more that I would watch YouTube, and when I say YouTube, I mean videos exposing the truth or, confirming even more so that we all have been lied to. It's like the more I would watch videos like that from people who are way, 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 way more skilled than I am and who know a lot more and have spent hours and hours and hours of research. Whether it's chemtrails or it's the Illuminati or it's secret societies or it's,
Yes.
all of it, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. But it's like the more I spent time doing that, I feel good for a second, but it was almost a piece of chocolate cake, if you like chocolate cake. It tastes really good. Wow. But if you have too much of it, you just feel sick. So I guess I'm trying to find the balance, is what I'm saying.
Jesus Christ, what was that?
In all this stuff. Millions of people in LA. I guarantee that there was a time where people would be sitting here enjoying each other, looking over this incredible view. And I also can guarantee that those people that used to be sitting at these picnic tables or spending time in nature are on their computer. Well, look at me. I'm on my phone right now.
+1 for self-awareness, I guess. I don't know. Okay, you know what? She's hacking into me. Yeah. We're in the tree tricks. Okay. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Yeah, her mic just actually started working. I don't know what's going on with this. Let's kind of skip ahead a little bit. Let's see if she talks about Anthony Bourdain.
Oh my gosh, this is cute. She found the bathroom. This is how much she does not think she's a dog. What are you doing? You're supposed to pee right there. You're not supposed to go into a bathroom.
Oprah's an idiot.
Oh, you would, like Boulevard?
Okay.
or inspirational videos, and there's just not a ton of them.
Okay.
You know? Or
No.
maybe I'll just say I'm asking the wrong questions. I need to focus in my life on what I am feeding. And is it fear or is it love?
Fear.
For me, there's a few hymns that when I hear, I just think of my grandpa singing it, and our family sings together. So it was a song called It Is Well With My Soul. I'm not going to sing it. I almost did, but I'm not going to sing it. I'm not going to put you through that. People that have died, that are attached to the Clintons, anytime someone was going to speak out, they jump off a building or die in a really weird way. Or hanging. Yeah, all that stuff is there, and it brings up questions.
Does
But
it?
then what, guys? Then what? Then what do you do with that information? When you click off on your computer or when you continue to scroll, what did you learn? What are you doing with your seed? That sounds weird, but what are you doing? Where?
I'm sharing mine. No. God damn.
Are you planting? What environment are you planting your tree in?
Memory.
If you keep asking yourself that, if I keep asking myself that, that's what I should say. I'm not preaching to anybody but me.
Okay, skipping again.
If I continued, people watched it, they learned about an animal, and they can relate more to that part of themselves, maybe face. There's something that changes when you meet someone face to face. They no longer become this thing on the computer called cloud seeding.
Oh, hang on. Okay, this will be good.
I'm gonna watch a little bit more of lovely chemtrail sunset. Sorry, not chemtrails. I think to legitimize it should be called cloud seeding. They're trails of chemicals, so I'm sticking with chemtrails. But it doesn't mean that, although the skies look a little different, I'd like to focus on the irony of an emergency sound in the background is the perfect way to end this video. The contradiction of life and the beauty that surrounds us, and the call of that emergency
Oh my God, Rachel.
sound in the background is also a metaphor to everything that we're doing is important. And there's an urgency right now, and there is an emergency in the world. We all need to be waking up and then doing something.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really repeated myself a lot. But I didn't repeat myself for you. I repeated myself for me, because the more I say it, I know that's that. Then the more I'll live it. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Sure.
The best thing about having a dog is it really puts you in the present. Just look at her waddle, and it makes me happy.
Okay. What the fuck is this? This is at the very end of the video. At the very end of the video, she just has, like, pictures of Kate Spade and Anthony Bourdain. That was it? Rachel, you know what? First Richie, now you are failing me. What the fuck? Oh my God. Oh, no.
This is my dog, Oprah. She's blind and can't climb the stairs anymore. But tonight something happened that made me realize if we encourage each other and support each other, miracles can happen. Kevin, you can do it.
The music's gonna get me a fucking copy strike. Okay, I'm gonna mute this for a second while it plays, because I really don't want to get a copy strike on this. I'm falling for the clickbait. I am falling for the clickbait. Oh my God. There goes Oprah. Yeah. I think, why do we gotta look at Oprah's butthole? What the fuck is she doing? Okay. +1 for the good music. Rising up, back on the street. Took my time, took my chances. See, Rachel's starting to really piss me off, though. This is called My Response to the Truthers and Everyone on YouTube. And then it's just a video of her blind-ass fucking dog going up the stairs. What the shit? Alright, well, good for you, Oprah. Good for you. Alright. Good pup. Jesus Christ. Is there even anything in this video? And now there's a tiger. And that... Really? Really? Dude, I have fallen for the clickbait twice now with Rachel Renestra. I'm never again. Never again. Never again. You know what? We're breaking up, Rachel. We're totally breaking up. Yeah, no, I'm done. I'm done. I tried, man. I tried. But Rachel decided to just... obviously, this is a grand ploy. This is her counterintelligence operations against the Illuminati, because I'm obviously part of the Illuminati, trying to troll through her backlog for funny things to watch. And she just, she trolled me. She schooled me. Rachel schooled me. First Richie from Boston, now her. I failed, man. I failed. I have utterly failed. What would Ham do? I don't know, man. I don't know. Jesus. What a nightmare. What an absolute nightmare. You know, I was originally going to do Wingnut Roundup this month, and I was going to be looking into some really dangerous pseudoscience, a really tragic story of a woman who lost her baby because of drinking on her pregnancy, another one that had a problem, complications for refusing the vitamin K shot, like all this different heavy topics. Instead, I chose Morgue Official, and it made me want to scoop my own brain out of my skull with a rusty spoon. And then I got trolled by 2 conspiracy theorists. He thought I was a Monsanto shill. Of course I'm a Monsanto shill, but Monsanto got sold to Bayer, so I'm actually a free agent now. So if any global spanning conspiracy-minded groups are looking for a disinformation agent, you can always contact me. I'm very easy to find, and currently up for hire. So I hope to hear from you soon. Let me catch up on this really quick. We got Nijosa, sent a little bit of love, thank you very much. Haley, have you ever heard of Comden? Comden? I don't know, I don't think so, I'll have to look it up. Scott Lafferty, tree patriarchy means the trees need safe spaces. I agree. There's a couple of people asking me to cloud seed them. I might just do that. Why aren't I covering Third Eagle books? Because we did it last month. We did Third Eagle books last month. Did he do something more interesting recently? I'll check. Third Eagle books. Let's see if he's been busy lately. What's he been doing? Oh. Yeah, he's actually been really busy. Wow. Holy shit. Look at all this. He's been going live constantly. This dude is really busy. That's cool. It looks like he just recently discovered... how to use YouTube Live. Awesome. Okay, alright. You know, oh, fuck. Let's see. Wait, what are you guys talking about in the chat? That's from Angry MGTOW? What's from Angry MGTOW? What are you guys talking about? That's something just from Angry MGTOW. Did I get a super chat or something? I don't know what you guys are talking about. But this is our last shot. This is our last chance, guys. This is our last chance. Our last chance. Here. I don't know why people in the chat are starting to talk about Angry MGTOW, so These streams always take longer than expected. I know, but we start having fun. Press 1 if we need to see this. Need to see what? Oh my god. Okay, you know what? Anahata Hearts apparently knows what she's talking about. Alright, Anahata, will you DM me on Discord and let me know what you're talking about? Because I'm confused. I don't really know what you guys are talking about. You guys seem really excited. Oh, have you ever heard of Comden? Oh, from Angry MGTOW. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, that was really good. Oh, you want us to look at the new Third Eagle books? Okay. Yeah, we could do that. Let's do that. This is our last shot. Our last shot at something that's going to be lolcow worthy. So this is called Trump Prophecy from Stormy Daniels to Jerusalem. Oh. What is going on? Oh, I see. Yeah, I muted it because of Rachel. Fucking Rachel.
Welcome to Revelation Unraveled. I'm your host, William Tapley, also known as the Third Eagle of the Apocalypse, and the co-prophet of these end times. This past week...
I like how he's styling himself as actually a prophet now. That's pretty good.
Judge Jeanine Pirro on Fox News did a piece in which she claimed that Donald Trump's moving of the American embassy to Jerusalem in Israel as its capital is prefigured in Bible prophecy. And she is 100% correct.
Okay, so Trump moving the embassy to Jerusalem is a biblical prophecy. Okay.
Of course, she took a lot of heat in the news media for telling the truth, but since when is the news media ever concerned with telling the truth?
Never, am I right?
But what's really interesting is that Judge Pirro could have gone much further.
Somebody said they're the spread eagle of the apocalypse.
Because practically everything Donald Trump has done so far in his presidency is to fulfill Bible prophecy. And it is found specifically in Isaiah chapter number 45.
Okay.
And that's no accident. Donald Trump is our 45th president, and God revealed all about him to the great prophet Isaiah in his chapter number 45. So I thought I would go through some of these events, especially this year, and show you where they have been prophesied to us 2,700 years ago.
Okay.
And the first event I want to talk about, and it's sort of a scandal, and that is the Stormy Davis affair. By the way,
Stormy Davis? Stormy Daniels, bro.
Her name is kind of interesting. Stormy, that could refer to the tribulation. And Daniel was the greatest Old Testament prophet of these end times. I don't think that's accidental.
So a porn star is actually the herald of the apocalypse. That makes sense. That actually makes sense. I can see that. I can totally see that.
In any case, it certainly is a scandal, and it shows that Donald Trump really has a perverted sense of morality. He does not know the laws of God, and certainly he has caused his family a lot of grief because of his extramarital activities. And he's been doing this, I guess, ever since he was a billionaire youth for 20 or 30 years now. In any event, let's see where that is prophesied in Isaiah 45.
Yeah, everybody likes to fuck.
And we find this in verse number 5 of Isaiah 45.
Ignore me.
Where God says to Donald Trump, I am the Lord, and there is none else. There is no God besides me.
Wait, it's saying it to Donald Trump? The Bible is speaking to Donald Trump right now? Is that what I'm getting from this?
I girded you. In other words, Trump's power and authority comes from Almighty God.
Oh.
But God adds, you have not known me. Now, Donald Trump is a practicing Protestant, according to his own admission.
Okay.
But the Protestant he is following in his footsteps would be King Henry VIII.
I am Henry VIII, I am. Henry VIII, I am. I've been married... I forget.
Henry VIII had 8 wives, numerous mistresses. He did not have a sense of morality. And that is what Almighty God is telling Donald Trump. So, the first instance we want to talk about is Stormy Daniels, and that is predicted in Isaiah 45. And next I want to look at just today, either today or yesterday, Donald Trump announced he is cutting funding for Planned Parenthood.
Okay.
This is very much according to the laws of God.
I read that once. I think it was in Deuteronomy. Cut the funding of Planned Parenthood and CC baby murdering or some shit. I don't know. It's been a while since I read the Bible.
So certainly God is directing his hand in this matter. But where is that found in Isaiah 45?
Well, don't you think it's kind of weird how it's selective in its prophecy? Like, the Bible is prophesying, like, the end of times through the use of a weaponized porn star's vagina, yet there's also this great leader who was given power by God, yet he doesn't ascribe to the moralities of God, except when it comes to very, very specific things like Deuteronomy's law of defunding Planned Parenthood. Don't you think that's kind of odd? That there's like kind of a selective interpretation in which things might actually be able to ascribe a meaning or a historical prophetic significance, whereas others might not? I mean, I'm just asking.
Well, let's read verse number 3.
Oh, by all means, let's do it.
This is still God speaking.
Okay.
And I will give you hidden treasures and the concealed riches of secret places.
Obviously talking about porn star vaginas right now, right?
And I did a video quite a few months ago saying that is fulfilled when he takes away the funding of Planned Parenthood.
Oh. Wizard of Cause, what's up, bro? It says, my favorite Bible passage is Doug 6:27, and God said to Doug, people think my prophets were just crazy people, hold my beer, and thus Third Eagle Books was created. I like that, that's good. The book of Doug is one of my favorites.
And he has also taken away the funding of terrorism. That's also included in this verse.
Is it really?
He has gone to Saudi Arabia and has taken away the funding of ISIS. So Donald Trump is fulfilling Isaiah chapter 45, verse number 3.
Well, wait, hang on. Okay, let's take this guy at face value. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 3. Isaiah 45, 3. Okay. I will give you hidden treasures, riches stored in secret places, that you may know that I am the Lord, the God of Israel, who summons you by name. What does it have to do with ISIS? What does it have to do with Planned Parenthood? I will give you hidden treasures, riches stored in secret places. So, like, he's going to give you things. How does that in any way have anything to do with taking away money from people? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. I call shenanigans.
And next I want to look at a couple of weeks ago, or maybe just a week ago, the French President Macron and the German Chancellor Angela Merkel visited Donald Trump in the White House. And their goal was to get him not to back out of the Iran deal.
Okay.
But did he pay any attention to them? No, he did not.
Okay.
Donald Trump is his own man. He is being directed by Almighty God.
Except when he sticks his dick in porn stars, then he's not being directed by God. Got it.
But now where do we find that? In Isaiah 45. Well, let's look at, and I've got this marked here.
A lot of people like to call this guy Santa. This guy is kind of like Santa if he experienced severe lead poisoning.
Verse number 2. And this is Almighty God still speaking. I will go before you and humble the great ones of the earth. Well, that's exactly what he did with Macron and Merkel.
So Isaiah is talking about Trump? Like, okay, so, 2,700 years ago, this guy having these revelations, these prophetic images floating through his brain, foresees Donald J. Trump and is writing in flowery, non-expressive speech specifically about him telling other politicians in other countries to go fuck themselves. Okay.
He humbled them. He did not pay any attention to them. Once again, Isaiah 45, 2,700 years ago, Isaiah 45, I should say, is prophesying about Donald Trump.
I'm glad you cleared that up. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And number 4 on my list of things which Donald Trump has done, which is found in Isaiah 45, and that is his dealings with Kim Jong-un of North Korea. And he has forced him to back down. He is going to denuclearize North Korea. And
forced him to back down by sucking his dick, maybe.
Hopefully bring peace to that peninsula. Donald Trump says that may not happen. But where do we find that? In Isaiah 45. Verse number 6.
Know who had the best loot boxes? God, that's who? That's good. That was good. That's pretty good. This chat today is on fire. Oof.
This is still God speaking. That they may know who are from the rising of the sun, and they who are from the west, Macron and Merkel, that there is none besides me. I am the Lord, and there is none else. I am sure all of those people, Kim Jong-un, Macron, and Merkel, they recognize that they are up against a greater force than they've ever been up against before.
I have this feeling that if the prophet Daniel, or Isaiah, excuse me, not Daniel, Isaiah, if the prophet Isaiah had seen a Korean person in his dreams, he would have thought they were a fucking alien. Call me crazy. I don't see a lot of familiarity with Far East Asian cultures and what they look like 2,700 years ago in the Middle East, North Africa. It's just a thought. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a good explanation for it. I don't know. I feel my brain melting at my skull again.
4. And next on my list is the announcement and the fulfilling of that announcement that Donald Trump would move the American embassy from, I believe it was in Tel Aviv, to Jerusalem. And where do we find that? In Bible prophecy, in Isaiah 45. And I've got.
Come on, give me one more zinger, man. One more zinger. This is killing me. This is literally sucking the life out of
Isaiah
my
45,
body.
verse 13. I have raised him up to justice. Almighty God is talking about Donald Trump. Incidentally, that word justice appears quite often in QAnon lately. Have you noticed that? I think that's from Isaiah 45 also. And I will direct all his ways. This is really amazing that God would direct someone who does not know him.
I apparently straight into a porn star's vagina. All right.
He shall build my city. Isn't this amazing? Now, of course, this originally was about King Cyrus, who gave the orders that the Jews could rebuild their city.
So it's about King Cyrus, but it's not about...
But this also applies to Donald Trump. By moving the American embassy to Jerusalem and officially recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, he is fulfilling Isaiah 45. Judge Pirro could have gone a lot further in her analysis of Donald Trump fulfilling Bible prophecy. And let me look next on my list of the things which Donald Trump...
Nope. Tapping out. I'm done. Good call on 30 Eagle Books, though. This guy was way better than Rachel Renestra, and way better than Richie from Boston, and better than fucking Morgue Official. Because, my God, has this been a chore, man. I mean, I've had fun. I hope you guys have had fun, too. But, boy. A lot of the impulse for me to actually want to do the Wingnut Roundup and focus on Morgue Official at the beginning, at least for the first half of it or so, was because I got into an argument on Twitter with a Hyperian, and they were so evasive. Just terrified to really have to justify their own beliefs. It was pretty great. I was like, well, I mean, if you're not really going to debate me anymore, that's fine. I'll just go one better, and I'll just watch some videos by Morgan, poop all over him, which is exactly what I did, and I feel like I lost a couple years of my life because of it. Oh, man. Tasty K, let's create a Jeff Holiday sex cult. Who's to say there's not one already? And the General Crow says, Psalm 69, KJV, save me, O God, for the waters are come. I know what you're saying. I get it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, where are my sunglasses? Oh, here they are. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to be it for the Roundup this month. Stay tuned, because later today at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time is the YouTube Saints over on the YouTube Saints channel. Link is in the description. It's our late night show, me and Nick, aka the Wizard of Cause. We do it every single week, and we'll be hanging out with the Mythicist Milwaukee guys and having a lot of fun. They'll be drinking twice as much because I still can't drink yet, so that'll be great. On top of that, VidCon is only in a few more days, and you're going to see lots of crazy shit happening on this channel, on the YouTube Saints channel. Check me out on Twitch sometime. It's twitch.tv/rottinglepha, ROTTINGLEPHA. Sometimes I play games, sometimes I do research streams where I watch crazy shit like this anyway, and just... It's a lot less excitable, but it's more like actually digging into things and doing research and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, if you guys have any wingnut, wild, random things, not even necessarily pseudoscience, even though that's what I mostly make the videos on, but if you have great, like, cults or conspiracy theories, send them my way. Maybe they'll make it into the Roundup for July. We'll see. But I've had a really good time doing it. Really good time. We've had our hills, we've had our valleys, we've had an experience together, and it's... I feel like I've gotten the shit beat out of me, but that happens every time we do this. But I love you guys very much. I'll see you next time. You guys have a fantastic rest of your Sunday, and hopefully I'll see all of you tonight at the YouTube Saints. But if not, you know, that's cool too. Bye, everybody. Bye, bye, bye. Ooh. That was loud!